Recording. Okay, cool. Okay, so Jesse, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I think we'll have to change the slides here. It says update roundups. It should be our office hours. So welcome to the office hours here. Um, so like every week, Mariana will take questions and answers. But I just want to go through one little section here of Pebble. We've made some updates recently to our inboxes and inbox settings. So I'm just going to go through that in 5 minutes here, just to make sure you guys understand some of the ins and outs of the inbox. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Sorry, Marina. Yeah, we see your update roundup screen, but maybe that was a mistake on our end here.
Stopped.
Okay, cool. All right. Just to reiterate, right, the inbox, and sorry, mine is not connected. This is on our staging account where we do all our testing. So sorry if there's any confusion there. So just so you guys know, right, the inbox is sort of a unified location to track all the communication that comes in. Um, and this is great. If you've got on maybe let's say a letter that says, call you, go to your website, fill out a form, text me or whatever, it's going to catch into here. There should be a way of catching those communications in. This is where you're going to do some of the pre-qualification before it ends up on your deal board. Okay, your deal board are actual opportunities. If some of you are texting, right? Um, you probably don't need to get it into your inbox. You can push it right to, if you're using something like Launch Control, Smarter Contact, you can push that directly to your deal board. You don't need to triage those and make a decision about those leads because with texting platforms, you know that they are a lead or not a lead already. I don't like using that word lead. Let's say an opportunity, an actual opportunity. Okay. So in the settings, we've got a couple updates here. I'm going to quickly go through that so that you guys are aware. Under our form settings here, this is a form you can customize, and we used to have these as required. Now these are all optional, so you can adjust those. You also have an opt-in language, especially if you need to adhere to, oh my gosh, the A2P regulation stuff. You can customize your forms with questions, yes and no, so on and so forth. And now we have an auto text reply and an auto email message reply. Okay. This will come from one of your selected phone numbers. So if you want to have an auto reply via text and they submitted their phone number to you, it will automatically reply to that. If they submitted their email, we'll also automatically reply to that as well. So you can customize those messages and personalize it here. Okay. Um, so the form, this is really good for your website. This is also if you have an intake agent that is dedicated to this. If you are working with an call answering service, you can submit this to them. So to share that form, if we go back to the form, the inbox setting, we can see our form. There is a public link. There's also an embed code. All right. So I just wanted to let you guys know we do have auto replies on the forms. The next one here, we've been going through this I think we did this last week, but the Pebble intake agent. So this is a conversational AI. You do not need to have any scripts for this, right? We want to make this as simple to get up and running. Yes, we're getting some feedback on here, and we're going to be making some adjustments and allowing you to control more. This is sort of your V1 here, but it does its job really nicely, and you can sort of test the calls here. So you can toggle on your questions on and off. It can ask for that mailer code. And what's great about that is if you get the mailer code, it'll set up the deal with the contact and the owner already living inside of that deal card. Sorry, what did I say? The it it'll contain the contact and the property on that deal card already. Okay. If there is interest, it will try to route that call to you after it's taken the necessary information. So um, note that all the calls are going to get summarized, transcribed, and so you can see that when your intake agent takes that call in. Okay. So you sort of go through the top to bottom here, give it a name, the company that belongs to, your about us section. You'll if you have an about us section on your website, maybe you want to copy and paste this here. If you want to keep it brief, you can write something short. We don't want to spend too much time on the call here. We want to just verify, do they want to do they just want to be removed off your list? Do they, are they interested in selling? Those are the kind of things we want to know right away. We're going to collect the essential information, then you're going to do the follow-up on that. Okay. Um, Sorry, we'll go down here. You'll toggle on your questions. You'll toggle on the phone number that it can pick up. It will only be the first time caller. So if it's a return caller from that same phone number, the intake agent will not take that call. Cool. Um, yes, Ross, I know you've got some questions. I'll quickly wrap it up here. You can start your test call here. Keep in mind, guys, the way that Pebble is going. One of the sort of I like to use the word master plans here, but sort of 2.0 of Pebble is really how do we produce results for you and outcomes. So this reflects in our pricing as well. So you do not get charged on the minute. It's just you'll get charged on the actual deal opportunities that get created on your deal board. So if somebody called you just to say remove me off your list, you will not get charged for that. All right. So other things in your inbox settings here. Setting up your phone number if you haven't done so, your email account to connect that as well. Um, and that pretty much wraps up what I want to share with you guys, specifically with the intake agent powered by Pebble Intelligence, and then our new form updates. Cool. Ross, I know you got questions. I think we have some questions lined up, so I think it's in there. We don't have a ton there, so I will let Mariana continue here.
Okay, Ross, do you want to say your question while I start sharing my screen here?
Yeah, my only question would be, Jesse, what are the changes you have coming to the intake agent? Because it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, sorry, am I still on here? Am I getting booted off? You guys
No,
can see
you're
me?
No,
on.
you are there.
Okay, weird. It just says signing on from a different device. Okay, let me deny this. Ah, if I lose you guys, I'm just click this
It's
button.
probably Diana or someone like that.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, Ross, you were asking when are those changes coming down the pipeline? Is
No,
that right?
well, no, what are they? Like, the only thing I would change on it is it tries to live connect with a team member, and like
Okay.
I don't have a team, and I guess I really don't want an intake manager. I like that part of the business. So that's the only change I would make. It was like somebody will get a hold of you in the next 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah. So we are making some adjustments to that. Um, so stay tuned. We've gotten a ton of feedback, and so I want to be very clear. This is version 1, and we have this natively built in, and we have full control over it. So yes, we will be making those changes, Ross. I don't have an ETA, but it'll be in this quarter that we're working on that. Some other changes, Ross, so some further questions that we're going to be asking, and then the ability to change voice types, and then also gender as well. Those are just off the top of my head. I know we're sort of getting those lined up in terms of changes.
That's really cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Ross.
Okay, cool.
I'm
So
gonna take note of
Ross
that. And
opened.
I also agree with that. If we don't want to pass it to somebody, so I'll make note of that for you for sure.
All right. Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks,
so
Ross.
Ross opened our Q&A session, so let's get to it. So, Ross, we have already answered, I guess. So, guys, so just to make clear, what you can customize right now, the name of the agent, you can give the name of your company, and then the agent will say, I work for company X. You can choose from our list of questions which questions you want the agent to ask, so you toggle them on and off. And the most important, I would say, is that section in which you give the about of your company. That works kind of a knowledge base for this agent, which means that the agent will pull information from that little section that you give it to be able to improvise and answer the questions better. So the most information you can give there, the better. Okay. Okay, so let's get to Annie. I think Annie is here now. Yes, she's. Okay, so when we select a lead and move them over to the deal board, we have to manually select which campaign that lead came from. It's not a huge deal, but it is a pain to have to go back and go through all the campaigns looking for that person. I think that the system would already know what campaign it came from, but didn't know if there was a way to set it up that information and automatically populated. Is automatically populated. So Annie, since you are here, let me
Yeah.
ask you one thing. What kind of campaign are you doing? Is this phone? Is this mailing?
So it's mailing, and we're mailing through Rocket
Oh,
Print. So we don't
okay.
mail through Pebble. And so
Mhm.
anytime, it's really not a big deal, but anytime a lead comes in, I have to go and select the campaign. Now I know there's
Mhm.
campaign codes, but that's for when you're sending it through Pebble, right? Is there a way to
So,
find that?
yes, there is
Okay.
a way. I'm
Okay,
going to
perfect.
show you right now. Just a second. Let me just open Pebble here. So, for the campaigns that you have mailed already, I don't think this will change anything, but keep this in mind for the future when once you do this again. So, the
Okay.
thing is, and this for everyone, even if you are doing mailing outside of Pebble or if you are doing phone campaigns, we still recommend that you bring your property list inside of Pebble so that we can populate those things for you. And to do this with Rocket Print, what you are going to do is you will bring in your property list inside of Pebble via the campaigns. And
Mhm.
once you have this here inside of Pebble, let me open this one to show you. You will be able to select all of the properties. So you click this checkbox. This means you are selecting the first page. So you come here and click select all to select all records and you export this. This will generate a CSV for you. You are going to download it and give it to Rocket Print. Once you do that, they will have your code. And then once people reply to you on that campaign, Pebble will automatically link that. Okay?
Okay. Okay. I was doing it opposite. I would send it to Rocket Print and then upload it to Pebble. So the opposite,
Ah,
upload it
okay.
to Pebble and then send it to.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Okay. That makes
Annie,
sense.
I'm gonna just add to that. I threw the link here. I literally have a video showing you if you want to use a different mail.
Okay.
Exactly what Mariana just showed you there. But the reasoning here is like if you think about it, you want Pebble to catch everything when those leads come in. So like logically, right, you want to get into the system before people start calling you. So essentially like get it into Pebble always first. Guys, if you're doing texting campaigns, same rule applies, right? Get the campaign into Pebble first, then get it out to wherever you need to get it out, who's handling your marketing. So when those
Okay.
calls come in, when those messages come in, you have everything lined up. And yeah, so even better if you have the code there, that'll just automatically line up the contact, the property, or properties. It could be multiple property on that letter. I don't know if they do that for you, but you certainly can do that.
Okay. Got it. Appreciate that.
Uh, Don't you still have to go, like when you create a deal
Sorry, guys,
board?
I can't hear anything. My
Oh,
earbuds are just acting up. Sorry, I'll let you. I don't even know if you can hear me. I can't hear you guys. So,
We
um,
we
can.
can hear you.
Go on, Krista.
I was gonna say, when you create a, a deal card or whatever, don't you still have to go up and select the campaign though, right? It doesn't it?
uh,
Okay, I always have to, so I must be doing something
I
wrong,
think it
but
depends from where this lead is coming, right, Jesse? Like if it comes from your inbox, where is your lead coming from? Do you get it from
okay,
your inbox or you are
if someone
manually adding in
calls,
the deal board?
it's when someone calls,
okay.
so it's annually added in, I guess. But
So,
like when I go to the where it says campaign, I can click on like under the, it'll tell me which campaign, but I have to go up to the top and put it in.
So if you are getting those calls in and you're picking them up live, or are they leaving a voicemail, or what's sort of the typical path?
Generally picking them up live.
Okay. So the first thing I would ask, Krista, is the mailer code. Because like when I add
Right.
that mailer code right away, it'll determine the campaign automatically.
Um, yeah, but okay. Can you open up like a obviously I'm
A deal card?
yes,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
hmm Let's go to a deal card. Yeah. So under there it
Yeah,
says,
so where it says good deal up there at the top
hmm
and it says campaign, it'll say not set.
Yeah. Yeah. So it should be set as long as you were given the code. and you
Mine
created
is never set. If I go to the property page, on not summary, but the other page,
hmm
and I click on campaign down below the picture, which is usually down there, but it's not, or on the left-hand side under usually it has campaign there, and I click on that and it'll tell me which campaign, but then I have to go in and manually put it in.
So it depends. Like if you're not creating the deal from the inbox and you're just creating it like a brand new campaign without actually saying what code it came from, we wouldn't know, right? So you'll I'm assuming when you pick up the call, you're on the phone, are you just hanging out in the deal board right away and then hitting create deal?
That's a good question. It's usually my VA who's doing it, so
Okay.
I'll have to check.
So have a look because if you collect the code and you're creating the campaign at the same time, it'll align everything for you. So what
Okay,
I'd like to see is maybe have your VA record what they're doing and we can sort of dissect that, or maybe you can have a watch. Are they entering the campaign code anywhere, that mailer code? Because once they do, it'll align everything for you.
okay. So you would suggest if you're on the phone, what's the best way to do it? Just so that gets, I don't
Yeah.
want to spend too much time here.
So
We can
there.
move on. If
Yeah. Um, if they are on the phone, I would go to the deal board right away
Uh-huh.
and then hit add deal on the top
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and just ask them, hey, can I get the code on that letter and,
Right.
and enter that in? That should populate everything for you.
Okay.
Yeah, just double check
Okay.
that they're
I
doing
think
that.
she does it, but I'll check. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. And if
Guys.
it's still not happening, that's how it used to work. If there's a bug here,
Okay.
let us know if it's on your account. But
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe ask her to record a video, or if you just want to type it out and send to our support email, we will
Okay.
follow up on that. Okay?
Okay.
Great. Thank you. Okay, so I have another one by Annie. I'm going to go back to Pebble. Let me just read this. Information needed to track ROI and ROAS, and where to put that into Pebble to track ROI and ROAS. So let me come here inside of Pebble. So guys, just so you know, we are talking about the numbers that are in our dashboard. So here we have ROI here, ROIAS here, and if you scroll down, you will also have a more detailed view of ROI. So, Annie, are you marking the properties as purchased? What's going on there?
Yeah, so we've got let me look at my Pebble real quick. But yeah, we put in the information. The only thing that I haven't done is hit the close deal, but I was messing with it, like hitting close deal, then it like gets removed completely. And I want to see it, but we don't have a ROAS. So and we should because we've sold some properties and blah blah blah. So we put the cost in, we put, the purchased and all of that information, but we still don't have a ROAS. So I must be missing obviously something.
So you are telling me you are doing this, mark sold, and
Yep.
then you put the information here. Okay.
Um,
Jesse, I
yeah, I can
think I
chime in
know,
here.
but tell me.
Sure, sure. Yeah. So the ROAS is your return on ad spend, right? So that has to do directly with your campaigns. So if you want to know how much you got in return for your ad spend, go to your campaign. Sorry, I'm so bad with these acronyms. Just click into a campaign and then just make sure there's a dollar value. Now, if you're not using Pebble to mail, you're going to just hit edit here and add that amount spend. That will calculate your ROAS, your return on ad spend there.
Okay, weird. Because I did add that. So maybe I'll just double check
Okay.
that.
Now
I'm pretty
you've also
sure.
marked the property as purchased, right? You did the right thing. Like closing the deal just gets rid of it off your board. It just hides it.
Okay. Okay.
But you have to go to the property that is associated to that deal and mark the property as purchased, fill it out like you just saw Mariana there. And when you sold it, same thing. You want to mark that property as sold. It should calculate on the dashboard.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think, is there anything else you might be missing? But typically, yeah, you see here.
I am thinking about the code. Maybe the properties that she's selling are not being tied to
Oh,
the
right.
campaign
That's right.
because
Yeah.
Yes.
we
Well,
have the
they are
code
marked, so
with
I
Rocket Print.
does it have to be the code or is it just the assigning like what campaign it was? Like campaigns or whatever.
Either or, as long as it's part of a campaign.
Okay. Yeah, they
As
should
long-
all be.
Okay.
I'll double check all of that. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure everything's in there, and then I'll just shoot an email if I still
Maybe,
can't.
yeah, just in case. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. There's like 0 ROI data and 0. There's like total deals and then but there's
Um,
0% ROAS. So
double check your time frame too.
okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, if it's the past 30 days, yeah, double check
Maybe
that as
that's what it is. There it is. Okay, that makes more sense.
Okay.
Found it?
Yeah, it was selected for past 30 days.
Yeah, yeah, that
It's
could be it.
the default. Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay. I
great.
think that's it.
Krista, I just want to reconfirm with you. I just tested on my end. It seems to be working fine. As long as you create deal, immediately add the mailer code, it should tie everything for you immediately together.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks. I'll check.
Okay.
absolutely.
So let me see if Al is here. I don't think so, but let's answer this and he'll catch the recording later. Let me slideshow this. So we are going to be talking about the form, the lead form for the website, I guess. He's not here at the moment, so I'm guessing. So he wants our form to be connected with the website, and then he wants the people who fill the form to come, like this communication to come inside of Pebble. And then in the end, he also asks about Rocket Print, and it's the same thing we explained to Annie. So let's talk about the form and the website. Just a second. So guys, the lead form is, as the name says, a form that you can give to people that are interested in selling their land to you. And what you can do is, we are going to come to inboxes. You will hit the gear icon or the settings button if you are inside of an inbox. And you will find the lead forms option, which is the last one, I guess. I have a bunch of forms here, I'm sorry. So what happens with this? As you can see, we have a public link and an embed code. That means that you can either give the public link to people, and that will work as kind of a landing page in of its own. So you don't need a website to be connected to this. What will be connected here is your inbox. And you can also embed this form in your website by hitting embed code. And here, just pay attention. You need to select which kind of website you'll embed this to, your website or our website. Sorry, a Pebble website or a custom website. And then you have some options here and so on. So what's going to happen is you will copy this code and paste it on your website to make it work. What's going to happen? Everyone that fills that form, the whole form with the answers will land inside of your inbox. I think I don't have, let me see here, buyer inbox. My inbox, I have a bunch of inboxes here. I think maybe, let's see. I don't have any here. But basically, that's what's going to happen. Instead of being a call, you are going to see the form per se. So name, Christopher Anderson, APN, etc. And what you can do there is you can actually customize your form. So you are going to click here, add lead form, to create a new one. You can give a name to this. So if you hit edit here, you can give the name. You can choose the inbox. This will send the form answers to, and then you hit save changes. And then these are the things that we have prepared for you. So what you can do here is you can select if you will want them on your form or not by hitting the drop down menu here. And then in this part, input fields, these are your custom questions. So you can actually create questions. Let's say, for example, are you the owner or something like that? And then if you hit this drop down menu here, you'll be able to see what kind of question is this. Is this a multi-line text, single line text, yes or no? Let me click so you can see, or a drop down. The drop down, of course, you will need to give the options. So if you select it, this is what you are going to see. So let me, or something like that. Feel free to customize this the way you want. And this is what Jessie was explaining. This is new, we introduced this last week, okay? So what does that mean? It means that the person is going to fill in the form and you can actually set up an auto reply to this person. So remember here, we ask for the contact information, right? So if the person gives you an email or a phone number, we are actually going to be able to send this auto reply to that person. If you hit edit, you can customize the text, okay? And here, just note that this is not mandatory. So if you toggle this on, it will be on. You will actually send these text messages and email messages. If you don't want to do it, you just toggle it off and nothing will be sent, okay? And then you click here, create embed code to save all of this. And if you want to preview, you click view form, okay? And then what's going to happen is people are going to answer to this form and you will see the answers in your inbox and will be able to create a deal from the inbox and so on and so forth. Okay? These are our lead forms. Let me open the chat. I think maybe we have more questions. So if we have a non-Pebble website already, is there a way to automatically have the details submitted to Pebble? Do you mean the details from the website or from a lead form, Siobhan?
It would be from a lead form. So we have a website already that has a form.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we connect that to Pebble? So when it's filled out, it gets sent over.
Okay, you have a form there already that is not the Pebble form.
Agreed, yes.
Mm-hmm. So Jessie, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we would need to substitute that form by a Pebble form so we could get the answers inside of Pebble, I
Not
guess.
necessarily. You could use another form. So if you're using a different form builder, let's just say type form, for example, that can get submitted into your inbox a couple ways. So you can automate that. Well, you could do it a couple ways. You could get into your inbox using the inbox email address that we've created for you. That can forward into that email address. So that can come into the inbox. Another way you could also do this is to create a deal automatically from it by just using Zapier. So we've got a Zap where you can actually create a deal from any form system. Well, as long as that form system has the ability to zap in, Zapier can also parse that data and create the deal for you. So you've got the easy way. I think the easiest way is like this, using this inbox email address we've created for you. You can edit this email address to shorten if you like. So that would be my first choice. The other choice is to just, if you know that every lead coming through that form, I don't know what it is coming through, you know, you don't need to qualify it, it's all good leads, then and you want it on your deal board, then, you know, use something like Zapier.
Okay.
So guys, just to remind you, don't put this email that we create for you in your marketing campaign, like your letter or text or whatever. This is an email that is created for automation. So just like Jessie said, forms, auto follow-ups, etc., etc. Okay. Okay, let me see the chat again.
Can I ask a
Before
quick
you move
question
on,
while you're
Mariana.
looking?
Yes, Krista, tell
I
me.
was just wondering, actually, I had just emailed about this earlier, but so when I get a lead from my Dispo website, which is a Pebble website, so I get the information into my inbox, but it would be really great if I didn't have to create the contact every time. But there's no way for it to automatically, unless I could use a Zap or something, right?
Correct.
Or
Correct.
I,
Yeah.
okay.
because
Every
the whole point, like the contacts are created for you on the acquisition side because you
Yeah.
actually inserted them inside of Pebble with the property list, right? So the disposition is kind of tricky because we don't know this person. It's just a
Right.
person that
Well,
is coming.
yeah, and I would add, you know, because every form gets submitted differently, it's well, I think we'll
Right.
get there, Krista, where we can just parse any email that comes in,
Yeah.
like, oh, we know that the name is here and this is here. As of right now, yeah, Krista, you're right.
Okay. All right. Just checking.
And we have one
Um,
from Mark. How is the
Before you
prospect
move on,
linked to
Oh,
Pebble when they...
Mariana,
Oh, sorry.
Siobhan wanted to follow
Yes,
up.
Siobhan.
yes, thank you much. Just to ask, seeing that it's another website that we're using and that form, how exactly would we just use this email to connect it to that? Would it be a specific section there that we just drop it in?
You
Go ahead.
should. Every form system should have something where it says it can, well, I won't say every, but a lot of form systems will say they can forward the results to a specific email.
Okay.
Just like a
All right, I'll
Google
make sure to look for
form
that then.
asks you for
Sorry,
an email, that should be it.
sorry, Siobhan?
You're saying that I'll make sure to look for that then.
Yeah.
All right,
And
gotcha.
how is the prospect linked to Pebble when they respond to mail campaign? Can you elaborate a little, Mark? Not sure I'm clear there.
I think the question being asked here, Mark, is how is a prospect linked to Pebble when the response to mail?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah. So when they respond, how is Pebble what do you call core linking it up to that prospect in the Pebble list?
it will know it through the mail through the campaign record code, the mailer code. Because that
And we have to, okay, so we have to enter that in. So we have to
correct.
type in.
Correct. There would be no other way.
Okay.
We can't base it off the name. We can't base it off of anything else. There's no sort of unique identifier.
So where do we enter that campaign code?
Yeah, when it comes into your inbox, you have the opportunity to create that, to enter in that campaign code.
Where? In Pebble?
When you add a new deal on this section here, in the inbox, it'll ask you for the code. So if you go down to add new deal, you're gonna be asked for this.
Okay. So in new deal box. Okay.
Yeah.
Add deal. Okay.
Or from,
All right.
from your deal board. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we can't just randomly have a drop down, say enter a mail code to link up.
Where?
As a drop down somewhere on what it called just a hierarchy, enter mail code to pop it out.
The only time you would need to enter a mailer code is when you're creating a deal. I don't, that to us signifies there's a lead. And so you can do that from the deal board as well, where you just hit add deal and it'll ask you what's the mailer code. I mean, that's pretty much
Okay.
where you'll enter it. Yeah. So you've got multiple.
Okay.
You can search for a property by the mailer code on the property filter too. So you've got many ways of looking up a property by the mailer code.
Okay. So it's
Or
all
within
right.
campaign
Thank
as
you.
well. You, Jesse?
Yeah. You can too.
There's a tab within campaign. If you went to that specific campaign and typed
Yeah.
the mailer code in there, it would be, yeah, I think you have like 3 or 4 options.
Yeah, I think you've got a couple different ways, but mostly that's going to happen in the deal board. Okay.
Okay, so just a last one here, Jesse, from Kay. Is there any way to customize the dashboard? So, Kay, what do you want to customize? What do you want to see there?
Can you, okay, I'm unmuted. Okay.
Mhm.
And sorry if you already addressed this. I've been trying to get on here for a couple of
Hey,
weeks, so
We
Kate,
maybe
good
I
to
haven't,
made
hear
the
from
no
call.
problem.
you.
Hey, Jesse. I'm finally using the dashboard,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So I like to look at I'm driving in the car, so sorry if there's any background noise, but the
No, you're good.
bottom of the dashboard where it has all of your purchased properties and sold properties, it's really hard to like memorize APN numbers on the left-hand side.
Right.
Is
Right.
there
Mhm.
any way to put any other like nickname or easier identifier in
Okay.
that area?
Not as of currently. My thoughts on that. So you want to basically name the uh now, so you want to name the property, but because we already named the deal card, because I'm assuming you probably renamed you probably named something on the deal card which has a property
Yeah.
associated with that. Maybe would that be helpful to show the deal that it belongs
Oh,
to?
yeah. The deal card, the deal title, or maybe just like the first address line, maybe
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
be
Oh,
helpful. Anything that's not the APN.
what about the seller name or but then
Uh,
that doesn't really
yeah.
okay. Okay, I mean that's potential. Like we could add the seller's name there. That's pretty standardized. A seller is a seller. So let's
Okay.
make note of that, Mariana.
Yeah,
Sure.
didn't know if that was like an easy to do or not.
We
Uh
don't know as well. We are going to ask our developers team. In our mind, everything is easy, right? But then we don't
Right.
code, so. But
Exactly.
okay, thank you
Exactly.
very much, Kay, for the suggestion.
Yeah.
Okay, do
And then
we?
just the last thing
Mhm.
too on the mail campaigns, because a lot of times I'll create campaigns
Yeah.
ahead of time, but I stagger the mail. So maybe the creation date that's automatically populated in Pebble,
Mhm.
it doesn't really, it's different from the actual mail
Mm,
date for me. So I end up putting like the mail date in the title and trying to like, do that as a workaround. But I again don't know
mhm,
how easy it is to get a field where, I can hit like this is when it was mailed. Because
Well,
oftentimes, more often than not, it's created first and then it's mailed later.
so would it help to say, are you, but okay, I remember you mail it yourself or are you mailing it through us
I
for some of them?
I I I I do mail it myself, but I rely heavily on the campaign codes and using Pebble to organize all my data and house
Gotcha.
it. Yeah,
The tricky part is because you're not activating the mailer through us.
right.
So if you were to mail activate it through us, then great, we can put that in there. I'm just trying to think, how else is this going to be doable?
Could
Uh,
I hit activate and it's like a false activate option?
you could yeah, we could do that. And add the activation date. And then all you do is just like say, drip out a one mailer a day and then just pause it right after that. That could stamp it as like the first activation date. That's a little bit janky.
Okay.
Um,
It is, yeah.
so
So I
what,
forget
yeah,
mail out stuff.
because some of you guys are
actually have
manually mailing, I can see where that can become an issue, and I think it's
I
best.
actually have an idea, Jesse. We can
Yeah,
discuss this later too, because I have been thinking about this, especially because of another feature request from another customer. We can discuss this later, and then we give you guys a heads up.
Perfect. Yeah,
sure.
because people ask it too, and like the Discord channels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a question because a lot of people really love the codes and the campaign, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they
Mm-hmm.
just don't mail out, and so
Right,
yeah,
right. That makes
Yeah.
yeah,
sense. That makes
not the end
sense.
of
Yeah.
the world, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay, cool.
we'll put our brains to that one. Thanks, Kay.
Okay.
Thank,
So
thank you
thank you,
guys.
Kay. Nice to meet you. Do we have any other questions, guys?
I have some and it looks like Glenn does too.
Okay, so Krista, it's Krista, right? I
Yeah,
can
we
see
want
you.
Glenn
Okay,
to go
cool.
first because I've already asked a couple questions.
Okay, go ahead, Glenn.
All right. A few weeks ago, we were talking about that when the phone calls come in, toggling the time of day that they would be directed to a particular phone number or a particular person.
Mhm.
Is that
That has been passed to the developers team
And
already.
I
They
don't
are
foresee
thinking on
that.
it.
I don't foresee that coming. And I'll be honest, I don't foresee that coming for a while.
okay?
Requests like that, but I'll keep that in mind. And I do want to be upfront here. You know, we do get a. Let's just say we get a century's worth of a feature request, and it's hard to prioritize. And but I'd rather be upfront. So a feature like that, it is added on there, Glenn. Sometimes the more that we hear something, obviously, then it gets a little bit more attention. But with that one was noted there, Glenn.
Okay.
Mhm.
Just wanted to know.
What about you, Krista?
Okay, so I was just wondering when you know, a property comes into, you know, like the acquisitions deal board and I attach a contact to it, which is usually the owner. Then when, you know, if they accept it and it moves to my other boards, I have to, in the other deal boards, I have to reattach the contact. I just, especially when it's the owner, I thought it would be nice if it were just there, but again, these are not big things,
So
but
yeah, let me explain the logic here. And there is a way you could do that because you're moving them from one board to another board. What would be the second board you're moving it to, Krista?
inventory.
Okay, you're calling inventory. All right.
Yep.
So the reason why we set this up is you have a lot more flexibility. The contact, the seller is typically you don't care about it when it's in inventory. Now, maybe in your case you do care about it, right? So if that is the case and you want to move things linear, you can click into a deal card and move the whole deal card onto a different board.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
let's go into the deal card.
Okay.
I think you will need to do this, Jesse. I don't know how to do
Oh yeah,
it. Can
I'll
you
get you
share your
to. I'll
screen?
just no, that's okay. I'll just get you to click here. I don't have it pulled up. Just go ahead and click the deal card, and
Uh-huh.
I'll show everybody here. No, sorry, just click into the deal card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you see where it says hot leads, that drop down at the top there?
Yeah.
Okay, if you click that, you have your other boards there as well. So if you go to your inventory
Oh.
board, you can just toss it right there if you want to do the whole linear thing. Now, Krista, there are times where like a lot of people like, no, I don't want that in my other board. It's a completely different deal. It's not a deal anymore. It's just a card, and you know, the property's still with the title company. I haven't actually acquired it, but I'm starting marketing on my inventory. Those are two things that are going to run simultaneously. It's going to be kept secret as separate. Now,
Right.
the only thing that is linked
Right.
between them are the property records. That the property record is
Uh-huh.
common between. So if you go to the property record, you'll see it's part of two different boards. That's what's happening right now for you. Now, if you're following a very like, I finished board A and then it should go to board B, then just go about it this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know in land, we all run our business so differently. So we want to make sure we have these sort of flexibilities in place without getting too
My
hairy.
other little question was you know, I'm starting to get leads from my Dispo website, and they usually have a property code, which is a combination of lowercase letters usually. And I don't know how that relates to the properties.
So what was
Does
it?
that,
Say it again.
Would it
so
be
when
the
I get,
APN?
no, it's not the APN. I just got one this morning. Let me look at it quickly.
You said there's letters.
It's when I get the email notification, and it says a new visitor to your website, the name, the email, the phone, and then down at the bottom it says property note, and it's like well, here, I'll just copy it and put it in the chat. It says
Oh,
property note X3Q3. Well, yeah. What is that?
yeah. This is on your Dispo site, isn't it?
Right.
Okay. So we've identified the property.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to refresh my memory. But basically, somebody submitted their lead into you, so you know which property they're looking at. That property
Right.
code
I
is
can't
actually
figure-
that code is actually the unique property link. Um, I'm gonna have to double check that for you. I know I
Yeah,
know that is. We've made some structural changes on that, so I'll
Okay.
get back to you on the property note for sure. I do have some stuff on that. Okay.
Okay, yeah, because I was trying to figure that out. I figured it had to do with a particular property, but which one, I don't know.
Yeah. That
Okay.
I believe either it's with WordPress that assigns that code, or I believe that's what it is. But
Uh-huh.
let me get back to you on that.
Okay.
All right, we'll take one more question before we wrap it up here. Yes, Annie, you have a question
Not
about the do not
mail.
mail. Go for it.
Yeah, so I know how to select the like toggle it on and off. So when say I was gonna remail,
Yeah.
would I re-download that CSV and then would that be removed from that list?
Yeah, great question. So Annie's asking if I want to remail a list, do I have to re-download it and remove it because it identifies it? No. All you need to do is go to your properties database on the left there. And then what I would do is use the filter function, filter down to a previous campaign. So let's go ahead and filter by campaign and search for a previous campaign. Okay. We can even go to the deals tab at the top and say exclude any existing deals. We don't need to do that now. But once you've filtered it, right, you see there's 194. Let's just say it was 194. We'll go ahead and select all of them. Okay. And then on the
And
right, it says
always
sort.
remember,
Yeah.
checkbox and then select all. Otherwise, you are just selecting the first page.
The first, right? Okay.
And then create campaign. Now, Annie, as long as that contact is do not mail, even if it's in here, it will skip it. You will not pay for it.
Okay. So that's even if I'm using Rocket Print.
No. Sorry, I
Okay.
forgot.
So
You're
that,
using Rocket Print.
yeah, I'm
So if
not using
that's
you
the
guys. So that was my
case,
question.
do
Instead of going through our list, finding that name, deleting it from our file,
you're
blah, blah,
gonna
blah.
probably be more familiar with me than with this than me. Do you see it on your list that we signify that this says do not mail?
I
Yes.
haven't,
It does?
yeah.
Okay. Then you're gonna have to
Yeah, when I
filter it out
pull
yourself.
when I export the campaign, there's like maybe the 5th or 6th column in, and
Okay.
I just turn my filter, like a drop down filter on in Excel, and you can filter out. It'll say yes or no, and I just delete the ones that say yes.
So, okay, are you re-downloading your data from Rocket Print, or sorry, from Pebble after you've selected Do Not Mail? To mail
Yes,
that?
because I like to,
Okay.
because I keep my do not mails.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I do. And so when I sometime like I mail the same state. And so a lot of times the data will come back in when I pull new data and put it in. And so when I export the campaign data out, I just go ahead, it'll say yes or no, which is nice. And then you can just delete it from that campaign manually. Just
Okay,
filter
that's
it.
kind of what
So like,
that's kind of
yes.
what I figured it would go into that CSV. Okay.
Yep.
Kay, to add to your question there, we don't have a way to pull all your contacts that are do not mail currently. Can I ask you what you're hoping to achieve with that?
Yes. So in the beginning, I was getting calls and just marking them do not mail.
Mhm.
But I got better at do not mail, but I got better at identifying do not mail. And I
Mm.
know some of the earlier ones weren't really do not mail. I was just
Oh,
marking them as that. And then there are some that like we get return mail sometimes. And so I'll go in and put do not mail and put like a note of,
mhm,
wrong address
mhm.
received. But I would like to pull those in bulk and skip trace the addresses to see if
Oh,
there is a better address for
okay,
them to mail them at for the
okay,
return mail.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find out from the engineers if there's a way. But yeah, I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
Another thought was like even having a drop down for all
Yeah,
of the do not mails.
yeah, just
You
on
know,
the
like
contact page. Yeah,
search do not mail.
we are working on some upgrades for the contacts as well. So we'll
Cool.
keep posted on that. All right, we're over
So
time here.
is that it? I guess that's it, right? So guys, thank you very much for coming, for staying, for the questions, and we are going to see you again next week because We do this every week on Wednesdays, okay? And send me any emails if you have any other questions or something like that, okay?
All right,
Thanks,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate
No
it.
problem. Bye.
Thanks,
See
guys.
you.
Bye.